Have you ever found yourself wondering if there's, like, a cosmic library out there?
Hmm.
Not just a library of all the books ever written here on Earth, but, a hidden repository of all knowledge, every thought, every possibility, every reality, every timeline, every single dimension.
Wow.
Imagine ancient wisdom traditions hinting at such an incredible archive, right?
Yeah.
A place where every secret, every truth, every what if is meticulously cataloged and just waiting for you to discover it.
It's a truly staggering concept, isn't it? The idea that the universe, or maybe even the vast expanse of the multiverse,
Mm.
could be structured like an accessible, searchable, and, well, profoundly interactive archive.
Yeah,
It challenges our fundamental understanding of reality itself.
it absolutely does, and that's precisely what we're diving into today on the Deep Dive.
Uh,
An extraordinary conceptual framework known as the Enochian Matrix Library System.
the Enochian Matrix. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't just a collection of ancient lore or, fragmented texts. It's envisioned as this vast, multi-dimensional repository of esoteric knowledge. It's meticulously organized, apparently, and spanning across countless realities, timelines, states of consciousness.
There's like a blueprint for reality itself.
Exactly. Think of it as a grand, imaginative blueprint for reality, offering a way to interface with the very fabric of existence.
Okay, so our mission today is to really unpack this intricate system. We're exploring its ambitious vision for organizing and accessing information that truly defies our conventional, three-dimensional understanding of reality.
Right.
And it's important to say, this framework isn't about historical fact-finding in the way we usually think of it.
No.
It's built on a collection of conceptual documents, things like timelines, FAQs, detailed outlines that describe its theoretical structure and how it might function.
So it's about understanding a universe built on principles of information and access.
Precisely, a universe's library.
Okay, let's open this cosmic book. We're starting with what the system calls its core collections. These are the foundational pillars of multidimensional wisdom.
Mhm.
They're seen as the earliest, the most primordial texts and concepts, believed to hold the very keys to creation and universal principles. They're the genesis points, the fundamental building blocks of this entire magnificent system.
What's truly intriguing here, I think, is how the system anchors itself in these ancient texts as the very bedrock of its understanding.
Yeah.
It implies that the deepest truths about reality, about existence itself, have been present and available since the dawn of time, maybe whispered down through the ages or encoded in obscure forms, even if they've been, obscured or lost to mainstream history.
And leading that charge, as our first major focus, are the Enochian tablets and keys, a truly captivating component with a pretty fascinating origin story.
D. and Kelly, right?
Exactly. It ties back to 16th century England to two figures,
Mhm.
the renowned scholar John Dee and his scryer Edward Kelly. These two men are credited with transcribing what they claimed were direct communications from angels.
Right.
And that essentially gave birth to what we now know as the Enochian system. So this historical moment serves as a crucial anchor within this vast conceptual framework.
Yes, and these aren't just seen as arbitrary symbols or random utterances within the system. The Enochian tablets and keys are presented as the primary interface with higher intelligences.
Interface. Okay.
They're foundational to understanding what is termed angelical language, dimensional resonance, and for accessing specific energetic and informational realms.
So tools, essentially.
In essence, yeah, they were described as crucial tools for cross-dimensional communication and for deciphering the underlying structure of reality, almost like a direct line to these higher realms.
Okay, so if these are the interface, what exactly are these key components? First, you've got the complete angelical tables. Now, these aren't just your standard elemental tablets representing earth, air, fire, and water as we know them.
No.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The system explicitly mentions their multiversal variations. Could you unpack what that actually means? How could an element like Earth be fundamentally different across realities?
That's a profound question, right? Because it challenges our fundamental assumption that even the most basic building blocks of reality are constant everywhere.
Exactly.
The idea of multiversal variations suggests that what we perceive as a fixed constant, like the element Earth, might actually have distinct energetic signatures, maybe different vibrational properties, or even subtly altered physical laws in a parallel timeline or dimension. It implies that these aren't just universal archetypes, but more like flexible, energetic signatures that shift based on the specific reality branch you're observing. It points to a deeply layered contextual understanding of
Wow. Okay. Then you have the 48 calls, or keys, described as phonetic keys. And the system apparently even includes alternate pronunciations specifically for different dimensional resonance.
Hmm.
So these aren't just words, they're more like vocal commands maybe, or perhaps specific sonic frequencies. It really suggests that sound and vibration are fundamental access codes, like a password.
This point is particularly important, I think, because it highlights the role of sound as a vibrational tool for dimensional interaction. The 48 call keys aren't merely phonetic sequences. They're presented as specific sonic structures designed to resonate with and, well, unlock different dimensional layers.
Unlock.
Yeah. And the notion of alternate pronunciations further implies a highly nuanced understanding of these resonant frequencies. Even slight changes in inflection or tone could alter their target dimension or effect.
Right.
This directly ties into the idea of sound as a universal language for navigating consciousness and accessing these specific energetic gateways.
And let's not overlook the Book of Loagath. This text supposedly has 49 leaves, believed to contain speech from God.
Heavy stuff.
Right. But crucially, it also includes what are called cross-referential indices to parallel reality variants. So this isn't just one sacred text you read. It's described as a dynamic navigation tool across countless other sacred texts and realities. It points you to how its wisdom applies in different realities, like a universal Rosetta Stone almost.
The Book of Loagath, acting as a kind of cosmic master index.
Yeah, I like that. Its cross-referential nature suggests that universal truths aren't isolated, but they're echoed, reinterpreted, maybe subtly differentiated across the whole multiversal landscape. This makes it a key for understanding how different realities relate to each other on a fundamental informational level. It offers a way to trace threads of divine speech through the entire tapestry of existence.
Okay, finally, within these Enochian texts, we encounter the Enochian Alphabet Codex. This isn't just any alphabet you see.
It apparently details the vibrational qualities and multidimensional representations of each of its 21 letters, making it a powerful, living, symbolic language. Each letter isn't just a glyph. It's considered a resonant frequency, a key in itself, capable of interacting with different dimensions.
So the Enochian alphabet, therefore, functions as more than just a writing system. It's a direct energetic interface.
Right.
Understanding the vibrational qualities of each letter means that forming words or phrases in Enochian isn't just speaking or writing. It's literally creating resonant patterns that can interact with and influence multidimensional spaces.
Wow.
It really underscores the system's premise that language, at its most fundamental level, is a potent tool for shaping and accessing reality.
And okay, so we've laid the groundwork with the Enochian texts themselves. But it's mind-boggling to think that this system then suggests an even older understanding of the cosmos, one that predates our conventional history. Tell us about these pre-Babylonian celestial correspondences. This section delves into the recognition of sophisticated astronomical knowledge predating recorded history, implying an ancient understanding of cosmic influences far beyond Earth's immediate perception.
Yeah.
It really suggests a lost or perhaps hidden wisdom of truly cosmic proportions.
This is where the system truly stretches our conventional timeline and our understanding of ancient civilizations. The idea of, say, Sumerian star maps detailing celestial bodies not visible from Earth.
How is that even possible?
Well, that raises profound questions, doesn't it? Who made these maps? What advanced perception or maybe technology allowed them to observe what we cannot from our terrestrial vantage point?
Right.
It strongly implies a connection to maybe extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional sources of knowledge in ancient times. It challenges the linear progression of scientific discovery we usually just accept.
And the examples are truly intriguing, going beyond just those Sumerian star maps. We also hear about Atlantean astrological systems.
Atlantis.
Described as recovered methodologies for tracking non-physical celestial influences. That really pushes our imagination beyond the physical planets we can see.
Totally.
And then there's proto-language star nomenclature, original naming conventions for cosmic bodies across multiple reality streams.
Naming conventions across realities.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Plus, pre-Diluvian astronomical calculations, mathematical systems for calculating positions of extra-dimensional celestial phenomena. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
These concepts really challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations and their capabilities, don't they?
They really do.
They suggest that early humans, or perhaps their predecessors, possessed an awareness of the cosmos that integrated both physical and non-physical aspects, maybe even extending to an awareness of parallel realities and extra-dimensional phenomena.
So it wasn't just about looking up at the stars we see.
Apparently not. according to the system. This isn't just about ancient history. It forces us to reconsider the very lineage of human knowledge. It posits that foundational understanding of the cosmos might have been lost rather than discovered.
Ah, a cyclical view.
Exactly, implying a cyclical view of advanced civilization and consciousness far grander than our current historical narratives.
As we delve deeper into these foundational texts, what about the very genesis of existence within the system? Where does the Enochian matrix suggest reality truly begins?
Good question.
Our journey into the foundational pillars continues with the first emanation codices. These texts delve into the initial creation events across different reality branches, suggesting a multiversal origin point. It's like finding the blueprints for existence, not just for our reality, but for many.
The first emanation codices give us, a glimpse into the very fabric of creation itself. For instance, they describe primordial sound matrices.
Sound matrices.
Yeah, the vibrational patterns present at universal genesis points, hinting at a sonic foundation for all existence. Imagine creation as a symphony, right? Where these matrices are the initial chords that set everything in motion.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Then there are creation formula manuscripts, which are presented as mathematical expressions of divine will in universal formation.
So, math and sound.
Basically, these aren't just mythical stories, they're presented as the fundamental vibrational and mathematical building blocks of reality.
That concept of creation beginning with sound, not just a word, but specific vibrational patterns, that's fascinating. Can you elaborate on what these matrices are believed to contain, or how one might conceptually read such a sonic blueprint?
Well, these sound matrices aren't seen as static sounds like a single note. They're dynamic, evolving vibrational patterns that carry the energetic information for the entire universe. To read them, conceptually, one might engage with their inherent frequencies, perhaps through deep meditative states or specific sonic attunements, allowing consciousness to align with these foundational vibrations. It's like trying to listen to the deepest hum of creation itself. This collection also provides a profound understanding of things like the Book of First Light, which supposedly accounts for creation events across 7 primary reality branches, and the logospectrum analysis, a detailed examination of the word as it manifests in varying material and non-material densities.
So, this suggests that creation itself is a multiversal phenomenon, with parallel reality branches originating from common, fundamental, vibrational, and mathematical principles. That's a powerful idea.
Precisely. This collection truly provides a deep dive into the fundamental creative forces that underpin not just our reality, but potentially the entire multiverse according to this system.
Okay. Moving on from these blueprints of creation, we transition to the Hermetic Archive. This seems to build upon these universal principles, but with a different lens, focusing on interconnectedness. How does it expand on that core idea of as above, so below?
The Corpus Hermeticum expansions within this archive are particularly noteworthy. They supposedly include unrevealed dialogues between Hermes Trismegistus and entities beyond the traditional pantheon.
Beyond, like who?
The documents don't always specify,
Right.
but it hints at a much broader scope of communication and insight than conventionally understood from Hermetic texts.
Well,
And Plemdra's extended revelations offer passages apparently removed from conventional transmissions, deepening our understanding of cosmic and spiritual truths,
yeah.
essentially filling in the gaps of what we thought we knew.
Not only that, but we have the Greater and Lesser Worlds Compendium. This details elaborate correspondences between microcosmic and macrocosmic systems across 12 primary reality streams. Yeah. Pushing the as above, so below concept into an expansive, truly multiversal context, suggesting that the patterns we see on Earth repeat and echo through countless other realities, and even Hermetic quantum principles. Ancient descriptions of quantum mechanics principles, but using metaphysical language, suggesting an intuitive grasp of physics long before modern science. It's like they knew this stuff intuitively.
What's truly fascinating there is the system's assertion that ancient wisdom intuited principles we now explore with quantum mechanics.
Right.
It suggests a non-linear progression of knowledge where profound insights were once accessible through different, maybe more intuitive or metaphysical means. The extended Corpus Hermeticum teachings indicate a continuous unfolding and deeper understanding of these principles across timelines, demonstrating how fundamental laws permeate all existence.
The Emerald Tablet variants are another key part of this archive, offering what the system describes as a timeless alchemical text, but with multiversal additions. It highlights 7 distinct versions as they appear in primary timeline branches, inviting comparative study. What's the significance of having multiple versions of such a foundational text?
The existence of these variants is incredibly intriguing, right? It suggests that even core alchemical truths might not be static, but they adapt or reveal different facets, or are perceived differently across reality.
Like seeing the same diamond from different angles.
Exactly, like seeing the same masterpiece through 7 different lenses, each revealing something new. Furthermore, the Smaragdine commentaries, which are interpretations not just from human adepts, but from adepts from non-terrestrial consciousness streams.
Non-terrestrial. Whoa.
Yeah, it implies that understanding this text isn't limited to human interpretation, but draws on a broader cosmic intelligence.
Yeah. And what about the practical side? The practical applications of as above, so below aren't just philosophical. They're described as methodologies for manipulating reality using correspondence principles, moving beyond theory into practical magic.
Hmm.
Plus, tabula smaragdina energy signatures are vibrational patterns embedded in the tablet texts, accessible through specific meditation techniques. So it's about active engagement, not just sitting and thinking about it.
This section really underscores the action-oriented nature of the system. It posits that Hermetic principles, like correspondence and alchemy, aren't merely abstract ideas, but contain direct methods for influencing the fabric of reality.
Right.
The focus on energy signatures and meditation techniques points to a conscious, energetic engagement with these foundational texts, allowing a practitioner to theoretically tune into and even alter the vibrational patterns of existence.
To round out the Hermetic archive, we have Trismegistus transmission protocols. These sound serious. Techniques like the Mercury method for opening consciousness to divine transmission, like tuning your mind.
Kind of, yeah. A way to attune one's mind to a specific frequency for receiving divine messages, much like tuning a radio to a hidden station. And Thoth-Hermes-Mercury triangulation for accessing what's called triple-aspected wisdom across pantheons, showing how these revered figures are maybe integrated into a larger framework.
Like different facets of the same archetype.
Perhaps. These protocols suggest a highly structured, almost procedural approach to divine communication. They imply that these legendary figures, Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, represent archetypal conduits or aspects of intelligence that can be actively engaged, rather than just passively revered.
Interesting.
The Divine Messenger Communication System outlines systematic methods for establishing contact, emphasizing an intentional rather than purely spontaneous interaction with higher intelligences.
And this next one really sparks the imagination. Trismegistus timeline access protocols for viewing events through the perspective of the thrice great one.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing history through such an incredibly vast, wise, and multidimensional lens. What kind of insights could that possibly provide?
The potential for profound insight is immense, theoretically. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these sections suggest a continuous unfolding and deeper understanding of Hermetic teachings across timelines.
Right.
They emphasize the integration of wisdom, correspondence, and alchemy as dynamic, evolving paths for knowledge and interaction with the cosmos, providing a unique vantage point on universal history.
Our journey continues with Kabbalistic matrices. Here, the tree of life and its multiversal mappings are presented as fundamental frameworks for understanding the organization of reality itself. It's like discovering the source code for the cosmos, a cosmic operating system with like an infinite number of variations.
This takes the familiar Kabbalistic tree of life and just expands it dramatically. Instead of a singular structure, the tree of life multiversal mappings describe the forest of trees, 10 primary tree of life variations as they manifest in parallel reality structures.
A forest.
Yeah. This suggests that the fundamental architecture of existence, though based on a common blueprint, has distinct variations and expressions across different dimensions, adapting to the nuances of each reality.
And it gets even more complex with Sephirothic network systems maps showing connections between trees across dimensions.
Interdimensional connections.
Then there are the hidden paths, not just the 22 conventional paths we usually learn about, but 39 paths only visible from higher dimensional perspectives.
Hidden knowledge.
And Qliphothic mirror realms, which are detailed studies of the shadow aspects of each Sephirotic structure. Now, Qliphothic mirror realms sounds pretty intense. For those who might be familiar with the Tree of Life but not its inverse, could you briefly clarify what the Qliphoth represent in this context and why understanding these shadow aspects is crucial?
That's an excellent point. In Kabbalistic thought, the Qliphoth often described as the inverse or shadow aspects of the Sephiroth. They represent unintegrated energies or forces often associated with chaos, imbalance, or the shells of creation, the husks left over.
Okay, so the dark side, in a way.
You could say that, or perhaps the unmanifested potential, the raw, untamed forces. So these Clephothic mirror realms are literally explorations of those shadow aspects of the cosmic operating system. Understanding them is crucial for balance. Any system needs to account for both its light and shadow aspects to be truly complete, and maybe to prevent unintended consequences from ignoring the dark.
Makes sense.
What's fascinating here is the implication of an ongoing exploration of how Kabbalistic principles manifest in parallel realities, providing a complex, multi-layered architecture of existence, both the light and the shadow.
Next, we have Sephirothic correspondence tables, detailing dimensions in an incredibly granular way. They include complete attribute tables for each Sephira across 12 reality streams.
12 streams again.
Yeah. Multi-dimensional color scales extending beyond the four traditional worlds to nine-dimensional color attributions, and divine name resonance frequencies, vibrational signatures of divine names in each Sephira, considered powerful tools for spiritual connection.
This raises an important question, doesn't it? If divine names have specific resonance frequencies and colors mapped to 9 dimensions, it implies a systematic, almost scientific approach to the energetic properties of these realms.
Like a precise underlying code.
Exactly. And the entity inhabitant directories further categorize beings residing in each Sephirotic realm across realities, providing a comprehensive catalog for understanding these diverse ecosystems of consciousness.
The significance of this section is profound. This provides a rich framework for understanding the organization of reality, with Sephirothic correspondences representing layers of existence and potential that span the multiverse.
Absolutely. And then we have Ein Sof dimensional gateways. These refer to conceptual openings or access points to the limitless light and pre-creation states. Now, for those encountering Ein Sof for the first time, could you quickly explain its significance in Kabbalah, that concept of the limitless, before creation, so we can fully grasp what these gateways are truly offering?
Excellent point. In Kabbalah, Ein Sof literally translates to no end or the infinite. It represents the unmanifested, limitless essence of the divine before any creation or emanation happened.
Before anything existed.
Right. So these Ein Sof dimensional gateways aren't just entry points to other places, but pathways to the very source of all existence, before manifestation, before the cosmos as we know it even began to form.
Exactly. The key practices described include limitless light access protocols,
Mm.
methods for consciousness to approach this unlimited source, and 3 veils of negative existence techniques for passing through Ein, Ein Sof, and Ein Sof R, which are the stages preceding manifestation in Kabbalah.
Wow.
Plus, pre-creation state meditation systems, practices for experiencing existence before manifestation.
What's truly fascinating here for me is the inclusion of void navigation maps, guides for traversing non-being states without loss of consciousness.
Yeah, it's quite something.
It's a profound and potentially daunting prospect. Imagine navigating pure nothingness while retaining your sense of self. These gateways ultimately offer pathways for spiritual ascent and dimensional traversal, reaching towards the unmanifested source of creation itself.
It's a bold assertion that such a system could not only describe, but also provide methods for navigating the absolute unmanifest void. It really pushes the boundaries.
Finally, within the core collections, we come to Eastern Wisdom Repositories. This section really highlights the system's grand ambition to harmonize global esoteric traditions. It explains that the system posits a deep resonance between Enochian concepts and Vedic, Taoist, and Buddhist philosophies, suggesting universal truths expressed through different cultural lenses. It's truly a synthesis, right? A unified field theory of ancient wisdom.
This interdisciplinary approach is one of the most compelling aspects of the Enochian matrix library system, I think. It recognizes that profound truths aren't exclusive to one tradition, but are reflected across diverse spiritual paths.
The aim seems to be to find these common threads and leverage their combined power for a more complete understanding.
And here's where one of our focus points really shines: the Vedic Enochian resonance tables. This section explores key correspondences, like Sanskrit angelical language comparison charts, establishing phonetic and vibrational correspondences.
Okay, so comparing the actual sounds.
Yeah, highlighting the idea of universal sonic principles across traditions, suggesting a deeper connection between sacred sounds from seemingly disparate systems.
Yes, this is where we see a direct attempt to bridge the vibrational foundations of both systems. The phonetic and vibrational correspondences between Sanskrit and angelical languages suggest an underlying universal sound code,
A code.
where certain sacred sounds, regardless of their cultural origin, hold similar resonant power. This is presented as crucial for unlocking advanced techniques as it allows for the synergistic use of these traditions.
Exactly. And the system includes chakra tablet energy centers, showing how Enochian forces might relate to and even activate the Kundalini system associated with Vedic chakras. Wow, connecting Enochian energies directly to chakras.
And Vedic deity angelic intelligence synchronicities, identifying correspondences between Hindu deities and Enochian angelic intelligences, suggesting a common underlying pantheon, or at least similar archetypal roles.
What's particularly insightful here is the practical integration for enhanced dimensional access through mantra call integration practices.
Ah, yes, the combination.
This section explicitly highlights combining sound techniques, Vedic mantras, and Enochian calls specifically for enhanced dimensional access.
Enhanced. How?
Well, the system posits that by synergistically using these distinct sound-based practices, a practitioner can more effectively resonate with and navigate different dimensional realities. It's not just about adding two methods together, but suggesting a synergistic amplification where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts, specifically for getting into other dimensions.
It's a powerful synergy, then, implying that the vibrational power and specific intent inherent in both mantras and Enochian calls can be amplified to create a more potent key for unlocking the deeper layers of the multiverse. That seems like a critical component for actually using this system.
Absolutely. The Taoist alchemical formulations further extend this synthesis. They offer things like elixir recipes for spiritual body development, combining Eastern and Western mystery traditions,
East meets West alchemy.
and key flow maps through Enochian structures, energy circulation techniques like Qigong, but applied through angelic frameworks. Imagine applying the principles of vital energy flow directly to the architecture of Enochian magic.
That's a fascinating blend. It even details 8 trigrams as dimensional access codes, using I Ching principles for reality navigation.
Using the I Ching for dimensional travel.
Yeah, okay. And Outhan's soft unity practices, techniques for experiencing the underlying sameness of Eastern and Western concepts of unlimited potential. This really pushes for a unified understanding of energetic principles.
It demonstrates practical applications of energy flow and balance through an Enochian lens. It's about seeing the universal principles of energy management and applying them across different conceptual frameworks to achieve a unified understanding and theoretically greater control over subtle energies.
Finally, we have Buddhist mind matrix interfaces. This integrates mindfulness protocols for angelical contact, meditation practices specifically preparing consciousness for higher communication, training the mind for subtle interaction. It explores emptiness and Enochian space, understanding Sunyata, the Buddhist concept of emptiness, through the lens of Dee's system.
That's a deep connection, seeing Enochian spaces through the lens of emptiness.
Right. How does that work?
Well, this section focuses on how Buddhist practices can prepare the mind for engaging with angelic intelligences and multidimensional spaces, emphasizing mental clarity and non-attachment as prerequisites.
Okay.
It includes bodhisattva angelic collaboration methods for partnering with benevolent entities, blurring lines between traditions, and suggesting a shared mission of compassion or enlightenment.
So bodhisattvas and angels working together.
That's what's suggested.
Yeah.
And Buddha Field Watchtower correspondences, showing how Buddhist Pure Lands, those blissful realms, might relate to Enochian watchtowers, which are often described as guardian outposts of elemental forces.
These core collections truly lay out the foundational knowledge. It's immense. But once you have this wisdom, the next question is, how do you actually navigate such a vast and intricate reality?
Exactly.
That's where the system's dimensional classifications come into play, offering frameworks for understanding and moving through reality itself.
And this entire section directly challenges our conventional linear perception of time. It presents time not as a one-way street, but as a navigable dimension. The temporal axis library is one of the core components within this larger classification, specifically focusing on the dimension of time and its multifaceted nature.
Okay, let's dive into past, present, future interconnections because this directly contradicts how most of us experience time. The system views time as a web, not a line. It includes nonlinear time navigation charts, which are essentially maps showing how to move consciousness through temporal fields. Imagine a choose-your-own-adventure map for your consciousness, but for time.
This goes far beyond mere observation, though. It details causality override protocols, methods for altering probability streams without paradox. Now, this is where it gets truly audacious.
Without paradox. How?
Well, the idea of altering probability streams without creating paradoxical ripples. It's a monumental claim, isn't it?
Yeah.
It suggests direct influence over the unfolding of events, not just predicting them. It implies a mastery over the very flow of consequence. What's your initial reaction to that, hearing about it?
My initial reaction is, wow, if you could truly alter a probability stream without paradox, what's the limit? Are we talking about changing what you had for breakfast or preventing major historical events? The responsibility implied is just unfathomable. And the system identifies time stream convergence points, these nexus moments where multiple timelines intersect. Plus, eternal now access techniques are practices for experiencing all temporal points simultaneously. That's a profound shift in perception, moving beyond linear existence.
What's truly insightful here is how these concepts provide frameworks for understanding nonlinear time and multidimensional space, hinting at the potential to interact with or even influence temporal realities. This is where the theoretical gives way to immense practical implications and, frankly, some serious ethical questions about intervention.
And this leads us to our next major focus point, Akashic Record access nodes. Now, for those unfamiliar, the Akashic Record is traditionally introduced as this universal etheric record of all thoughts, actions, events, everything that has ever happened throughout all of existence.
The Cosmic Library's main archive, maybe.
Kind of, and the system provides specific access nodes to this universal memory.
These access nodes are central to the system's infrastructure for exploring time and information. The system describes universal memory indexing systems, cataloging methods for efficient information retrieval from this vast cosmic database.
Like a search engine for everything.
It suggests a highly organized, systematic approach to navigating universal memory. Yeah, much like a sophisticated search engine for existence itself.
But, and this is crucial, the system also includes Akashic Reading Permissions protocols. This highlights ethical frameworks for determining appropriate access levels.
Permissions. That's important.
It suggests that within this system, knowledge isn't just freely available or universally beneficial. It implies a built-in safeguard or perhaps even a moral imperative against the unchecked acquisition of cosmic secrets, much like the ethical dilemmas we face with AI research today, right?
The existence of these protocols underscores a deep understanding of the potential impact of such access. It suggests that knowledge this profound comes with significant responsibilities. Not all information is meant for everyone, or maybe not at all times. It's about discernment and the ethical use of cosmic information.
And the system goes further, detailing record imprinting methodologies, techniques for consciously leaving or adding information to the Akashic field.
Adding to the record.
Think of it as leaving your own footprint in cosmic history, or perhaps adding a chapter to a book that contains all other books. And cross-reference temporal spatial coordinates, which are precise location formulas for specific information access within this vast record.
The cross-reference temporal spatial coordinates are particularly significant because they imply a sophisticated system for pinpointing events or information based on both their temporal and spatial context across dimensions.
So time and space are linked in the records.
This interconnectedness of time and space seems fundamental. To access a specific event in the Akashic Record, according to this, you need to know not just when it happened, but potentially where across the multidimensional canvas. It's about precision in cosmic navigation.
The significance of this section is clear. It outlines ongoing efforts to retrieve information across time and space, but with profound ethical implications for anyone accessing such power.
Then we have chronological dissolution techniques, which deal with advanced manipulations of time itself. These explore methods for influencing and altering temporal realities, moving from mere observation to direct impact.
For instance, time perception alteration practices, methods for subjectively expanding or collapsing your experience of time, making minutes feel like hours or vice versa.
Useful skill.
Right. Aging process modification systems hint at alchemical approaches to biological time manipulation, an ancient dream of eternal youth maybe, but seen through this multidimensional lens.
What's truly fascinating here, though, are the historical trauma resolution protocols. These suggest healing collective consciousness wounds across time.
Healing the past.
That's the implication. A powerful, potentially transformative application, not just for individuals, but for societies. Imagine going back to the energetic root of a historical conflict or injustice and influencing its resonance, offering a form of deep collective healing.
That was profound. And then there's timeline branch creation.
Oh,
advanced methodologies for generating entirely new probability streams.
creating new timelines.
This takes choice to a whole new level, implying you could actively fork reality. It really makes you question. If we could create new timelines, what does that mean for free will in our current one? Does our timeline become just one option among many we created?
These explorations suggest a profound level of engagement with temporal reality, moving beyond passive observation to active shaping and influence. It poses significant questions about agency, free will, and the very nature of destiny within a multiversal framework.
Moving on from time, our next classification is the spatial geometry collection. This delves into fundamental geometrical constants and Platonic solids as essential templates for creation across dimensions. This is about discovering the very blueprints of the multiverse, the underlying architecture holding it all together.
Yes, the sacred geometrical constants are presented as the core principles. They include multiversal mathematical principles, numbers and ratios supposedly consistent across all reality systems, suggesting an inherent order in creation.
The math is the same everywhere.
Seems to be the idea. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're presented as the universal language of form, the mathematical DNA of the cosmos.
And protonic solid energy templates, the vibrational patterns of perfect forms like the cube, tetrahedron, etc., acting as creation models, foundational energetic structures.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, divine proportion manifestation keys show how the phi ratio, that ubiquitous golden ratio, creates stability in dimensional structures.
What's fascinating here is how geometry isn't just form, but functions as a universal language. The system also mentions geometric entities summoning diagrams, precise forms believed to attract specific intelligences or energies.
Summoning with shapes.
Suggests that these sacred shapes aren't just blueprints, but act as resonant patterns for interdimensional communication, almost like cosmic beacons made of geometry.
These constants form the very basis of spatial reality and offer profound insights into cosmic laws. But how do we, as beings used to three spatial dimensions, actually see beyond our usual 3D? That's where multidimensional translation keys come in.
These are crucial for navigating and interacting with the multidimensional realities, moving beyond our inherent limitations of perception. They include 3D to higher dimension consciousness expansion techniques, methods for training our perception to perceive beyond the limits of three spatial dimensions. This is about retraining our minds, not just our eyes.
It sounds incredibly challenging. And then there are tesseract meditation frameworks, practices using four-dimensional cube concepts as focus points. A tesseract, that's a four-dimensional cube, right? Just visualizing that is a challenge for my three-dimensional brain. How does one even begin to use such a concept as a focus point for meditation without getting a mental knot?
It's definitely a mental gymnastics routine. The idea isn't necessarily to see it perfectly with your physical eye's understanding, but to conceptualize its properties and relationships in your mind's eye, to expand your mental framework. Think of it as a cognitive exercise to stretch your spatial imagination beyond our familiar limitations.
Okay, like mental stretching.
Exactly. Then you have perspective shift protocols, training to see reality from non-human dimensional viewpoints. Imagine experiencing reality like an angel, or maybe a deep space entity. It almost sounds like something out of science fiction, but the system presents it as a trainable skill. Is there a particular non-human perspective that you find most challenging or perhaps most enlightening to even conceptualize?
Oh, that's a great question. I think trying to imagine existence as a purely energetic, non-corporeal being without the anchor of a physical body, that would be the most challenging and potentially mind-altering. It forces you to shed so many assumptions about self and world.
Exactly. The perspective shift protocols really stand out for that reason. They emphasize that truly understanding higher dimensions might require an epistemological shift, not just a cognitive one. It's about adopting entirely alternative frames of reference. And spatial folding visualization practices are mental exercises for conceptualizing space-time curvature, helping us grasp concepts fundamental to higher dimensions, like a shortcut through the universe.
Finally, within spatial geometry, we have vibrational frequency maps, the universe as a symphony. These map reality with matter-energy consciousness frequency charts detailing the complete spectrum of vibration from dense matter to pure spirit. Everything, from a rock to a thought, exists on this vast vibrational scale.
This concept is absolutely central. Matter, energy, and consciousness existing on a spectrum of vibrational frequencies. The system offers resonance manipulation tools, methods for adjusting personal vibratory signatures, which enhancing intuition or healing or something like that.
Right.
It also details harmonic convergence prediction tables, calculating moments when vibrational patterns align across dimensions, This is about understanding the cosmic music and knowing when the different instruments are playing in perfect harmony, potentially.
And sound color form correspondence matrices complete the picture, detailing the synesthetic relationships between sensory experiences. It's like a universal Rosetta Stone for the senses, where a certain sound might inherently correspond to a specific color and a geometric form, regardless of how we perceive it.
This indicates a comprehensive understanding of vibration as the fundamental language of the universe, according to this system. With tools and techniques for understanding and manipulating these vibrations to interact with different aspects of reality, it's about becoming a conscious conductor in this cosmic symphony.
Our last dimensional classification is consciousness matrices. This views consciousness itself as a matrix capable of navigation, communication, and accessing collective knowledge. It truly positions the mind as the ultimate tool, the ultimate interface for this entire system.
What's particularly fascinating here are the entity communication protocols. This section focuses on understanding and interacting with diverse forms of consciousness, but crucially, prioritizing safety and discernment, which is paramount when dealing with the unknown.
Definitely.
It includes a non-human intelligence classification system, which is a detailed taxonomy for understanding the diverse spectrum of beings across different levels of consciousness. It's like a cosmic diplomatic handbook, categorizing who or what you might encounter out there.
It sounds like something from a top secret government file. It also features telepathic language adapters, techniques designed to facilitate mental communication across different species and dimensional barriers.
Middle translators.
And protection boundary establishment, which are absolutely crucial methods for ensuring safe interactions when engaging with unfamiliar types of consciousness. You definitely wouldn't want to skip that step.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And discernment practices for entity identification are techniques aimed at verifying the true nature and intentions of communicating intelligences. This is vital, as not all non-human intelligences may have benevolent intentions, or even intentions we can easily understand from our perspective.
Good point.
It highlights the importance of critical thinking and self-preservation even in these profound interactions, ensuring you're truly connecting with what you think you are.
Moving inward, we find mind-space navigation techniques architecting inner worlds. This signifies an active exploration of the inner dimensions of consciousness and its creative potential. It includes inner landscape mapping tools for creating consistent and navigable mental environments, effectively building your own inner universe.
Consciousness architecture construction offers techniques for building stable and intentional thought forms for specific purposes. This suggests that our internal mental spaces can be consciously designed and populated not just with ephemeral thoughts, but with structured, purposeful constructs. It's a powerful idea for personal agency and manifestation.
And get this, memory palace expansion into group consciousness, creating shared mental environments that can be accessed by multiple individuals.
Shared mind spaces.
Imagine a collective mental meeting room or a shared dreamscape where information can be exchanged instantaneously. Plus, thought form materialization gradients, understanding the spectrum of manifestation, from purely mental to etheric and potentially physical forms. This implies our thoughts have a trajectory towards physical reality.
This explores the creative power of consciousness and its capacity to not only shape inner worlds, but also potentially influence the materialization of thought into various densities. It suggests that intention, when properly focused, can indeed bridge the gap between mind and matter.
Finally, within consciousness matrices, we have collective consciousness access points, the universal mind. This suggests an ongoing investigation into the nature and potential of shared consciousness, aiming for universal access and integration. It's about tapping into the larger web of awareness.
This includes morphic field resonance techniques, methods for connecting with the collective knowledge of a species, a family, or even humanity itself, drawing on Sheldrake's ideas maybe, and group mind formation protocols, procedures for creating temporary states of unified consciousness among multiple participants.
And then there's egregore development and management, understanding the creation, sustenance, and dissolution of collective thought entities or group minds. For those unfamiliar, think of an egregore like a collective thought form, almost like a spirit or entity born from a group's shared beliefs, intentions, or repeated actions like the spirit of a company, or a powerful fan base for a sports team, or even a fictional character that takes on a life of its own in the collective consciousness.
That's a good explanation. They can be powerful things.
And then universal mind integration practices, techniques aimed at achieving a state of oneness and interconnectedness with all forms of consciousness.
These classifications of reality provide a comprehensive framework for navigating and understanding the diverse layers of existence, from the temporal to the spatial to the conscious. They map out the how and where of reality within this system.
Right.
But what can you do with this knowledge once you've gained it? This brings us to the truly exciting part, the practical applications of this system.
Now we're getting to the action-oriented techniques. Ritual systems outline methods for cross-dimensional invocation, energy matrix manipulation, and sigil creation across realities. This is about direct, intentional interaction with multidimensional forces, not just observation.
Indeed. The cross-dimensional invocation methods are designed for structured contact. Beacon establishment protocols involve creating stable contact points visible across dimensions. Think of it as a cosmic lighthouse or a homing signal for intelligences in other realms.
Lighting up a cosmic flare gun.
Something like that. These protocols are about making yourself seen and heard by other dimensions intentionally.
And entity invitation parameters are ethical frameworks for requesting presence from other realms. This is absolutely crucial for responsible interaction. It's not just about summoning whatever, but about respectful, informed engagement with clear intent.
Ethics again. Very important.
Manifestation density control offers techniques for determining how fully entities materialize, implying a subtle control over other dimensional presence, from maybe just a feeling or a whisper to a full materialization.
What's truly insightful here is the cross-cultural invocation synthesis, which combines effective elements from global traditions. This highlights the system's overall goal of interdisciplinary integration, finding the common threads in ritual practices from various cultures to enhance efficacy and create a more universally resonant method for contact.
Then we have energy matrix manipulation guides. These provide methods for working with the fundamental energy structures of reality, potentially influencing the very fabric of existence around us.
Playing with the grid.
Yeah. Force grid visualization techniques are methods for perceiving these underlying energy structures, like seeing the invisible currents of the universe.
And power flow redirection involves altering existing energy patterns for specific outcomes. Think of it like rerouting a river for irrigation, but with subtle cosmic energies.
Okay.
Elemental balance restoration focuses on healing imbalanced environments through force adjustment, which could connect back to the Enochian elemental tablets we discussed earlier, bringing harmony. And personal energy field expansion aims at extending individual influence through matrix connections, essentially amplifying your own energetic footprint.
Our last ritual system is sigil creation across realities, symbols of intent beyond dimensions. This section really focuses on practical applications of the core principles, creating symbolic forms effective on multiple dimensional levels.
Powerful symbol.
Multiversal symbol language involves creating marks recognizable across dimensional boundaries, like a universal emoji that conveys complex intentions instantly.
This implies a deeper understanding of archetypal forms and their resonance across different realities. Intent encoding methods are techniques for embedding precise purpose into visual forms, suggesting that sigil creation isn't just drawing, but a highly focused act of channeling intention and purpose into a symbolic container.
And activation timing based on cosmic alignments is about finding optimal moments for sigil charging, blending ritual with celestial mechanics to ensure maximum impact and resonance.
Using astrology for magic, essentially.
Right. And what's truly mind-bending, sigil evolution systems are about creating symbols that adapt to changing conditions automatically.
Living sigils.
Suggest living, dynamic symbols, not static ones, almost like conscious AI embedded within the symbolic system.
These practical applications indicate a focus on creating symbolic forms effective on multiple dimensional levels, leveraging cosmic timing and the dynamic, adaptive nature of symbols themselves. It's about active, intelligent symbolism.
Next up in practical applications are the divinatory arts techniques for gaining insights across timelines and worlds. This isn't just about fortune-telling in the traditional sense, it's about understanding and navigating the complex web of possibility and probability.
Exactly. Timeline viewing techniques are presented as methods for gaining insights into the nature of reality and potential futures, offering a multifaceted view of time. Probability stream analysis allows for seeing most likely future developments, almost like a weather forecast for destiny.
And decision point identification helps recognize crucial choice moments with maximum impact, those crossroads where small choices can lead to wildly different futures. But here's a wild one. Alternative self-consultation. contacting versions of oneself from other timelines.
Talking to other yous.
Imagine the wisdom or maybe the warnings you could receive from another you who made a different choice. What a profound and potentially overwhelming concept. Have you ever wondered what advice another version of you might give?
Huh? It's a fascinating thought experiment, isn't it? This truly leverages the multiversal framework, suggesting that alternate selves aren't just theoretical constructs, but accessible sources of information and guidance. Temporal snapshot techniques provide tools for creating stable views of specific time points for focused observation, like freezing a moment in cosmic history to study it.
The probability matrix readings offer methods for gaining insights into the nature of reality and potential futures by understanding and influencing probabilities. Quantum outcome collapsing suggests influencing probability through observation techniques.
Which sounds an awful lot like modern quantum theory applied to everyday reality.
It does. It directly connects esoteric principles with contemporary physics, suggesting a unified underlying reality. Potential future mapping involves charting various possible developments from present conditions, like sketching out all the possible roads ahead, and causality chain identification traces events back to their originating decision points, understanding the domino effect of choices.
And reality stream navigation, selecting optimal probability lines for consciousness to follow. This implies a conscious choice of destiny, a profound level of self-determination within the multiversal framework. It's about actively steering your life through the vast ocean of possibilities.
Finally, within divinatory arts, we have multiversal scrying methods. These offer methods for gaining insights into the nature of reality and potential futures by extending traditional scrying, gazing into a reflective surface for visions, to access other dimensions and realities.
Scrying beyond our world.
This includes parallel world window creation, opening viewpoints into alternate realities. Dimensional shift indicators help recognize subtle signs of bleed-through from other worlds, almost like glimpses of another dimension leaking into ours.
Seeing glitches in the matrix.
Maybe. And trans-reality communication establishes contact with other dimensional counterparts, like talking to yourself in a parallel universe.
And mirror world access protocols specifically describe using reflective surfaces as portals to inverse realities. This suggests specific, tangible methods for accessing different dimensional spaces, turning a simple mirror into a potential gateway.
The final category of practical applications is alchemical processes, the grand work of transformation, focusing not just on external materials, but profound personal and consciousness transformation.
Matter-energy transformation keys offer a focus on personal and material transformation, allowing for manipulation of reality at a fundamental level. This includes physical substance transmutation, those classic alchemical processes with supposedly verified protocols, turning lead into gold, perhaps, but within this larger system.
The philosopher's stone?
Maybe. And vibrational state elevation, raising the frequency of materials and beings, which could apply to anything from a gemstone to a person. Intention embedding techniques infuse physical items with specific purposes, making an object not just a thing, but a tool charged with intent. And prima materia identification in modern elements seeks to find philosophical mercury, sulfur, and salt, the fundamental building blocks of alchemy in contemporary scientific understanding. It's bridging ancient wisdom with modern chemistry.
This section bridges ancient alchemical philosophy with a modern interpretation, suggesting that the underlying principles of transformation are timeless and universally applicable, regardless of our current scientific understanding or mystical framework.
Then we delve into soul essence refinement techniques, the alchemy of the self. This focuses on personal transformation, leading to greater inner harmony and self-awareness. Higher self-integration practices aim to align personal identity with greater aspects of oneself, achieving a sense of wholeness and purpose.
And shadow aspect transmutation is about converting challenging traits, those parts of ourselves we often try to hide or deny, into spiritual strengths.
Integrating the shadow. Very Jungian, too.
Right. Soul fragment recovery addresses healing division in the spiritual body across time and space, suggesting that parts of our essence might be scattered or traumatized and can be reintegrated. And essence distillation methods identify and enhance core spiritual qualities. These are powerful tools for deep self-evolution and psychological integration.
And the ultimate goal seems to be consciousness transmutation practices. This suggests a path towards higher states of consciousness and understanding, the pinnacle of the system's ambition. State-of-being elevation techniques are about moving awareness to higher functional levels, improving cognitive and spiritual capacity.
Perception filter removal focuses on eliminating conditioned limitations on reality experience, allowing for a more unfiltered, direct view of truth rather than seeing reality through our biases or learned frameworks.
Seeing clearly.
Dimensional consciousness expansion extends awareness beyond 3D perception, retraining the mind to perceive higher realities.
And finally, ultimate awareness integration practices for maintaining cosmic consciousness in daily life. This is where the profound understanding of the Enochian matrix library system culminates, transforming everyday existence into a continuous, aware experience of the multiverse.
Wow. These practical applications truly bring the system to life, showing how its theoretical frameworks are intended to be used for profound personal and collective change.
These practical applications demonstrate how the theoretical knowledge from the core collections and the understanding of dimensional structures are intended to be utilized, providing a comprehensive framework for actively engaging with, navigating, and potentially transforming the multidimensional universe.
So, as we wrap up this truly mind expanding deep dive, let's consider the grand vision of the Enochian matrix library system. What stands out to you most about its sheer scope and ambition?
A truly intriguing aspect is the sheer audacity, isn't it? The grand ambition of this framework. It attempts to unify such a vast array of esoteric knowledge, Enochian magic, Hermeticism, Kabbalah, even Eastern wisdom traditions, under a single conceptual umbrella.
It's monumental.
It really is. Imagining a single, structured system for all esoteric truths, that's no small feat.
It's not just a grab bag of ideas, is it? The structured organization is a huge aspect. It provides a highly systematic approach to understanding often complex and abstract concepts. It's truly presented as a meticulously planned library for the multiverse, with a clear cataloging system for everything.
Absolutely. The detailed categorization into core collections, dimensional classifications, practical applications, all with intricate subsections. It speaks to a rigorous effort to bring order to what many perceive as disparate, mystical ideas. It's like trying to write an operating manual for existence itself.
And that leads directly to its interdisciplinary integration. It makes a powerful attempt to bridge traditionally separate esoteric traditions, Western like Enochian, Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and Eastern like Vedic, Taoist, Buddhist wisdom into a cohesive whole.
This interdisciplinary approach you mentioned, combining East and West, it seems almost revolutionary for a system like this. Is that a fair assessment of its ambition? That's a very fair assessment, I think. This integration is key. It implies a universal validity to these principles, suggesting that different traditions are simply different pathways, maybe different languages, pointing towards the same ultimate understanding of reality. It's a remarkable ambition to find that unifying thread.
Here's where it comes back to us, the individual. Consciousness is positioned as the absolute key. The framework reiterates the central role of developed mental faculties and specific states of consciousness as necessary tools to access and navigate this library's vast resources. It's all about perception and intent, right? Suggesting you can't just read about it, you have to train your mind to access it.
This is a critical point. It emphasizes that the Enochian Matrix Library isn't presented as a passive archive, but an interactive one, accessible primarily through cultivated awareness and intention. The system is as much about inner transformation and self-mastery as it is about external knowledge acquisition. Your mind is the ultimate decoder ring.
But with such incredible potential come profound responsibilities. We touched on the ethical considerations woven throughout the system, manipulating timelines, accessing Akashic records, interacting with powerful entities.
Big ones.
Yeah. The system itself hints at permission protocols and protection boundaries. It makes me wonder, if you had these tools, how would you decide what you should or shouldn't do with them? Where's the line?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The inclusion of ethical frameworks suggests an inherent awareness within the system of the profound power it describes, and the necessity of responsible engagement to avoid unintended consequences or misuse.
Right.
It's a recognition that simply having the ability doesn't negate the responsibility. It speaks to a deep, perhaps ancient understanding of cosmic laws and the ripple effects of action across dimensions.
And finally, it's vital to state clearly, as we did at the start, that this system appears to be primarily conceptual. It draws heavily on esoteric traditions and philosophical ideas. It's a grand intellectual construct, rather than empirical scientific evidence that we could test in a lab tomorrow. It's a blueprint for understanding, not a scientific textbook.
This distinction is crucial. It's an imaginative framework, offering a way to perceive and interact with reality that extends beyond conventional scientific validation. It invites a different kind of exploration. It asks us to consider the universe through a lens of possibilities rather than just sticking to known probabilities.
Wow. Okay. We've journeyed through the core collections, explored the mind-bending dimensional classifications, and glimpsed the audacious practical applications of the Enochian matrix library system. It's a vision of reality far more intricate and interconnected than we usually imagine.
What stands out here, the real aha moment, perhaps,
Yeah.
for you listening, is that this isn't just a collection of ancient lore. It's presented as a proposed system for navigating a multiversal reality.
A system.
Yeah. It suggests that the universe itself might be an accessible, searchable, and even influenceable library if you know how to read its language and navigate its shelves.
It's truly an incredible thought experiment, if nothing else. What does this profound framework suggest about the true nature of reality? What new questions does it open up about our own potential, our perception of time, and our place in a truly multidimensional cosmos?
And here's a final thought to leave you with. If all knowledge across all dimensions were truly accessible to you right now, what would you seek first? And what profound responsibility would come with that access? Consider that and the implications of such power, not just for yourself, but maybe for every timeline you might touch.
Powerful questions for all of us to reflect on. This has been The Deep Dive. Until next time.